This FreeCAD lesson walks through the high-level basics of creating a very simple assembly in FreeCAD using the Assembly Workbench. We're concentrating on an explode and importing that into a technical drawing. We'll create some very simple parts: a bearing, a spacer and a washer, along with the axle. Using the Part Design Workbench, we'll create these in individual bodies, using a sketch upon the XY plane. And I'll quickly do the bearing. The same workflow is for all the other parts except for the axle, and I'll leave the dimension for the parts on the screen in a moment. They all consist of an outer and an inner circle, all dimensioned, and also a pad operation, along with renaming the body so it can be identified. I've just modelled the bearing body. The dimensions of those three parts are up on screen now. Remember to hide the body when you create the next one. You'll be creating all the bodies in one document to act as a part file. To this point, we should have the bearing body, the washer body, and the spacer body, all hidden in our document. Next, we'll create a new body and a new sketch, this time on the XZ plane. And we'll sketch one side of the axle to revolve using the polyline tool. Using the center point, coincident, and connecting up horizontal axis with point and object constraint, and we'll sketch out the shape. Left clicking to add points. Zoom out a bit so we can see the whole sketch. Finally connecting up to the center point. Right click to cancel the tool and zoom in. Let's dimension this line first. Using the dimensioning tool, gives a length of 150 millimeters, and we'll set this length here to 100 millimeters. Set the width 14. Set this width to 5. And this width is going to the center point to 12.25, making it slightly smaller to the inner dimension of the bearing and the washers. Set dimension between these two lines using an angle of 135 degrees and hit OK. So now we're fully constrained. Let's hit close, make sure the sketch is selected, and then use a revolve operation. Revolving around 360 degrees and hitting OK. Rename the body, call this axle body. We can save our parts. This is going to be our parts file, so we just call it parts. Now we've got the basic parts, let's show them all. They will be on top of each other, that's fine. Just save that again, and then we can create our assembly file. For that we need a new document, and we need to save it as well. Call this axle assembly, and come over to the Assembly Workbench. Create a new assembly, we click on the New Assembly button, and then we can import our parts using the Insert Component tool. If we use the drop down, we can see we have two in there. We want component. Because we've got the document already open, it's automatically placed in our list for selection. If you don't see it here and it's closed, just use the open file and select the parts file. The first part we'll import is the axle body. Click on that. It's going to ask us if we want to ground it. I'm just going to hit no. We'll ground that in a moment. We need one grounded body at least to create our assembly. I've got the option to move it. I'm just going to leave it where it is. I can click off and move it later because it's not grounded. Let's add the bearing. Just click off, move over to the right. We need a washer. I can use the handler, or I can click off and move it over. Actually, we need two washers, so let's click it again. If we accidentally insert something, we can right click to remove it. Let's insert that washer again, click off and just move it over to the right. Need a single spacer. And also we need another bearing. So let's click on the bearing again, import that in. We've got all of our parts. Let's hit OK. Left hand side we have the assembly, with the parts within. Now we can start assembling. First thing I'm going to do is take the axle, and if we double click on it, we can rotate it. We'll just rotate that into place where we want. Something like this. Click off, click the axle, and we'll ground the part, toggle grounded. This now, if I double click on it, it can't be moved. If we want to move it, we click on it and just click the toggle grounded again. Back in. For assembly, I'm going to use one single joint, fixed joint. That's all I need for this assembly. Let's make sure nothing's selected, click on some blank space, and we'll start by using the fixed joint first. On the left you can see the panel, and as we hover over our parts, you'll notice an axis appear. So this allows us to attach the parts in our assembly. So we've got the choice here because we have a number of circle geometries. So the face is a circle, the edge is a circle. The inside of here, you can see that all of these are basically in the same place. I'm going to use the inner circle for assembly. So for the washer, we'll take the inner circle. It's added to the items on the left. If I click it again, it gets removed. We'll take the inner circle, and then we use the inner circle here. You can see we've got the same axes, so it doesn't matter which circular edge we pick, and we add washer to there. At any time we can come in, right click and remove if we get it wrong. I'm happy with that, so I can hit OK. So we've got our first washer in. Let's repeat with the bearing. So this time I'm going to do it a different way. Take the inner circle of the bearing, hold down Control on the keyboard, and then select the inner circle of the washer, and we'll create the fixed joint. That's been added. If we swing the 3D view around to the left, we can see the washer on the other side. Let's hit OK. We can pick the tool first, or pick the edges and then select the tool. I want to add the spacer here. Now the spacer, let's pull it over. Let's try a different way. This time I'm going to take this edge and then assemble the washer against it. So Control select this edge here and create the fixed joint. That's been added to the washer. Hit OK. So now these two are connected, and I could add the bearing to this as well, but we'll take the inside circle, Control select the circle of the bearing, and create a fixed joint. So we've made the joints between two items and attach both those items back to the main assembly. We'll finish this one and Control click circle, use the fixed joint, and hit OK. So we've basically finished our assembly. Now you can see that I've not assembled this correctly. I've made a mistake inside here. The washer should be on the other side. So if I look to the left, we see the bearing. Now if I click on them, it's highlighted. And the washer, we've got the washer here, which should be on the other side. If I look inside the joints, we can see the joints within. For our last joint here, I can show that, and we can see how that's connected. Now if I look at this joint, let's click on it so it's selected. You can see what it's connected to. And also, we can see parts have been made transparent. So it shows just the parts that are connected. So we know we've got the wrong fixed joint here. Let's hide that and select the other one. We look now, you can see this is transparent, and we have a joint between this washer and this bearing. We can verify that by looking at the joint connector and the reference. I have to expand this out slightly. So we've got a joint between the bearing body and the washer body. I'm going to take that joint, right click and hit delete. The joint selection has moved down the next fixed joint. Click off and move the washer out the way. And I've got to do the same with this washer here as well. I can't move it out the way because it's fixed. We'll find that. And it's this one here. Let's right click and delete it. And click off. Now this one should be free. Let's make the joint between this circle, control select this circle, fixed joint, okay that, and finally between this circle, control select the other circle, the circle of the spacer, and create the fixed joint, and hit OK. So those are now around the right way, and we've got our finished assembly. Now to make a explode assembly out of this, make sure we've saved it, hit Control S or hit save at the top, and then come down to your assembly, make sure it's selected, look along the toolbar, we have the exploded view. If we click that, we're now in exploded view mode. So here we can select a part. So I can select this washer and drag it out into position. You'll see a dotted line appear. On the left hand side, we see a move has been added to the list. If this is incorrect, click on it and hit delete on the keyboard and it's placed back. So we can move and say rotate and then move again. We see all the movements have been added to the list. And if I hit OK and look at my tree view, I'll look at the exploded views, we see we have this exploded view here. If I double click it, we see the washer has moved out. We can add to this exploded view, select the next one, and we see as we move it, the movements get added. And we just repeat for all of them. So this is a custom one. I hit OK. We have the exploded view and we double click it and we have our explode that we've designed. There is another way of doing this. So I'm going to keep that exploded view, come up to the assembly, click on it, create another one. This time we use this button here, explode radially. I click it, and as we move this, we're now pulling out all the different parts and they start to separate. I hit OK now, look down, I have two exploded views, one we designed earlier and the one we designed with just one transition. Once we're happy, we can hit OK, and now we've got two exploded views that we can use in a technical drawing. Remember to save as you go along. So now we can go to the TechDraw workbench, come up, TechDraw, page, new page. We get the new page added. If we look in our tree view, we see we have the exploded views in here. I can pick one, let's say our first one, and using the button on the toolbar, new view, or TechDraw, TechDraw views and new view, we get the view that we selected added to the TechDraw document. And we can select the different views from different sides. If I hit OK and look down to the page, we see we have the template page and the view page. Within here we have the scale type. This was too large, then we can use a custom scale and scale it down. But I'm going to use page. And we have our exploded diagram on our page. And we can start adding things like, say, selecting this bearing and using the balloon. This adds a balloon annotation. We have to select the object first. So we select the object, use the balloon, and select it again. And then we can move the balloon where we want to. The numbers are automatically filled, but we can edit those. So if I select the balloon, look to the left, we have this text. We just move through our model, adding labels and dimensions where we want. So that's a simple exploded view that's been made within Assembly and added to a technical drawing. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you like what you see and you want to donate to the channel, then you can do so via Ko-Fi or Coffee at ko-fi.com/MANG0 or via PayPal at paypal.com/paypalme/DarrenBEstone. I also run a Patreon where you can get early access and additional content, and that's at patreon.com/MangoJellySolutions. Links can be found in the channel header on the About page or in the descriptions of these videos. I thank everybody that's donated so far. It really helps to keep the lights on so I can produce more content and also expand the channel. Thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing to these videos, and I hope to see you again in the next one.